the shadowy twilight of the African savanna, where life thrives in a brutal balance, a lone zebra stumbles into our view. It is not the striking, pristine creature one might envision with its bold black and white stripes proudly flashing in the sun. No, this zebra is a living canvas of horror, its flesh a grotesque testament to the merciless dance between host and parasite. The animal's side is riddled with gaping wounds, festering craters that pulse with the vile activity of countless insects. To gaze upon this scene is to peer into a small, savage apocalypse unfolding upon skin and sinew. This barbarous injury is no random accident, but the stark signature of an insect siege, a macabre collaboration of nature's most nauseating scavengers. The wounds have not merely cracked open. They have been surgically bored, mutilated, and colonized by swarms of bloodthirsty flies, relentless mites, and burrowing beetle larvae that feast on zebra's flesh as they do not just with any prey, but a living, breathing host. The infestation starts with a single puncture, often a bite from a tsetse fly or a tick's steady gnaw. The initial breach becomes a festering wound, oozing serous fluid, attracting more insects in a vicious feedback loop. Maggots, nature's grim recyclers, take residence within the wound, often accelerating the tissue destruction as they devour dead and dying flesh alike. The buzzing chorus of winged tormentors fills the air, the sound a grim soundtrack to the animal's suffering. This parade of pests is drawn by various factors intrinsic to the zebra's biology and the environment it inhabits: sweat, blood, and torn skin, emit scents irresistible to flies specialized in locating fresh sources of nourishment and breeding grounds. Some insects, like the notorious botfly, lay eggs that hatch into larvae immediately, the grubs tunneling beneath the skin, carving sinuous galleries as they grow. The sensation is akin to living ants under the skin, the relentless itch and burning pain driving the animal to frantic attempts at relief, scraping against trees, thrashing on the ground, slowing its movements as weakness and infection set in. Tendons, muscles, and even bones may eventually be invaded, the damage extending far beyond the initially visible horror. But why does this desecration matter? From a detached, clinical perspective, insect infestations in zebras are a natural, albeit gruesome, part of the savanna ecosystem. Parasites serve as agents of natural selection and population control. The suffering zebra is both victim and participant in a larger ecological game. Yet beneath this veneer of nature's cold logic lies a stark, unsettling reality, the constant, often invisible violence that defines the wild. The wounds ravaging this zebra are not exceptional, but beneath the rolling crests of a seemingly tranquil ocean, a disturbing spectacle unfolds. Far from the idyllic scenes often portrayed in nature documentaries, picture a dolphin, once a symbol of grace and vitality, now ensnared in a grim tableau of survival. A grotesque, festering wound stretches across its sleek body, a violent testament to the relentless assault of tiny marauders clinging to its skin. This is not a tale of beauty beneath the waves, but one of decay and quiet agony, where the victim's flesh tells a story of parasitic invasion and an unending battle against nature's darker designs. This injury is no ordinary scrape. It's a horrific canvas splashed with the guiltiest colors of infection and neglect, modeled by life forms that thrive on deterioration. At the heart of this carnage lie mussels, small, shelled creatures whose sedentary existence belies their brutal method of subsistence. Far from the harmless image of bivalves nestled in rocks, these mussels have found an unwelcome home on living, breathing flesh. Their shells, razor-sharp, anchor into the wound, preventing it from closing, while their rasping movements and feeding behaviors hinder healing. This infestation is more than mere irritation. It's a slow, painful siege. Mussels, normally filter feeders, become deadly hitchhikers when attached to the skin of marine mammals. The dolphin, unable to dislodge them, suffers as the mussels burrow deeper, their presence provoking inflammation and leaving the flesh raw and exposed to secondary infections. The wound swells, oozing a dark stew of pus and blood that hardens into crusts around the shells, a grotesque mosaic of decay. The dolphin's natural defenses fray, a tragic consequence of a system overwhelmed by external parasites exploiting its vulnerability. This parasitic deep within the shadowy, murky waters of the Amazon, an ancient giant slithers through the dense undergrowth, a creature both revered and feared, the anaconda. But today, this majestic serpent is not merely a symbol of raw power or primal elegance. It is a living testament to nature's cruel intricacies, its body marred by a chilling manifestation of parasitic horror. Imagine, if you will, the thick emerald scales interrupted by festering wounds, grotesquely swollen and oozing, each one a sinister beacon signaling the invasion of tiny invaders. This is not a simple scrape or a battle scar, but a living battleground, a haven for parasites whose grotesque lives intertwine destructively with their host's survival. The anaconda's body, adapted flawlessly to its aquatic domain, now bears the scars of a deeper, darker conflict. Parasites, almost invisible to the casual eye, have burrowed beneath its impenetrable armor of scales, creating festering lesions that pulsate with infection and decay. These parasites are no mere freeloaders. They are complex organisms adapted exquisitely for intrusion, survival, and reproduction at their host's expense. They latch onto the anaconda's thick hide, infiltrate its bloodstreams, and feast on its tissue, turning what should be a symbol of fearsome health into a walking canvas of biological horror. Each wound is a grotesque ecosystem of decay and disease. As the parasite embryos hatch and their ravenous progeny multiply, they release enzymes that erode the anaconda's skin, preparing a scaffold of soft tissue for further invasion. Beneath the surface, microscopic tendrils swim like dark threads through the serpent's veins, draining nutrients and releasing toxins. The anaconda, a creature built to command rivers and devour prey whole, becomes a lethargic prisoner of its own body, weighed down by inflammation, fatigue, and pain. The parasite's presence disrupts not just the physical fabric, but also the serpent's hidden biochemistry. In the heart of the African savanna, where the sun blazes down and the air is thick with the scent of dust and life, a scene unfolds that is both shocking and grotesque. Picture a lion, the majestic king of the jungle, known for its strength and regal presence. But today, this lion is not basking in the glory of its dominion. Instead, it is a pitiful sight, a victim of a horrific beehive wound. The once proud creature now bears the marks of a brutal encounter, its body marred by the relentless assault of thousands of tiny, buzzing assailants. The wound, a gaping, festering cavity, is a testament to nature's darker side, where beauty and brutality coexist in a delicate balance. As we draw closer, the details of this gruesome injury become apparent. The lion's fur, once a golden mane that shimmered in the sunlight, is now matted and stained with blood and pus. The hive, a grotesque mass of honeycomb and writhing bees, has embedded itself into the flesh, a nightmarish fusion of animal and insect. The bees, driven by instinct to protect their home, have turned this majestic predator into a battlefield, their stingers piercing the lion's skin with merciless precision. Each sting is a reminder of the fragility of life, a stark contrast to the lion's once indomitable spirit. But how did this regal beast find itself in such a dire predicament? The answer lies in the complex web of nature, where the lion, in its quest for sustenance, inadvertently disturbed a hive. Perhaps it was a moment of carelessness, a miscalculated swipe of its powerful paw that sent the bees into a frenzy. In their defense, they swarmed, a cloud of fury and instinct, overwhelming the lion with sheer numbers. The infestation is not just a physical ailment, it is a manifestation of nature's unforgiving laws, where survival often comes at a gruesome cost. As we delve deeper into the biology of this bee infestation, we uncover the chilling reality of what is happening beneath the surface. The bees, primarily honeybees, are not just mindless attackers. They are highly organized creatures with a complex social structure. Each bee plays a role, from the worker bees that defend the hive to the queen, whose sole purpose is to reproduce. In this case, the lion has unwittingly become a target, a source of protein for the hive, as the bees feast on the nutrients released from the lion's wounds. The grotesque irony is that, while the lion is a top predator, it is now reduced to a mere food source for these tiny creatures, highlighting the brutal cycle of life and death in the animal kingdom. The infestation is not just a physical assault, it is a psychological one as well. The lion, once a symbol of power, is now a victim, its body a canvas for the bees' relentless invasion. The pain must be excruciating, each sting a reminder. In the heart of the African savanna, where the sun blazes down and the air is thick with the scent of earth and life, a chilling scene unfolds. A leopard, the epitome of grace and power, lies motionless beneath the shade of an acacia tree. But this is no ordinary moment in the wild. This is a tableau of horror. The leopard's once majestic coat is marred by a grotesque wound, a gaping hole that reveals the raw, inflamed flesh beneath. Swarming around this injury is a cloud of bees, their buzzing a sinister symphony that echoes through the stillness of the savannah. This is not just a wound, it is a battleground, a testament to the brutal realities of nature, where survival often comes at a horrific cost. As we delve deeper into this unsettling scene, we must confront the grim reality of bee infestations. The leopard, a solitary predator, has unwittingly stumbled into a hive of trouble. The bees, drawn to the scent of the leopard's blood, have made this unfortunate feline their unwitting host. The wound, likely the result of a territorial dispute or a failed hunt, has become a feast for these tiny, relentless creatures. Their stingers, designed for defense, now serve a more sinister purpose as they invade the leopard's flesh, laying their eggs in the open wound. This grotesque symbiosis is a stark reminder of the harshness of life in the wild, where even the mightiest can fall victim to the smallest of foes. The infestation is not merely a nuisance, it is a death sentence. As the bees burrow deeper into the wound, they introduce bacteria and pathogens that can lead to severe infections. The leopard's immune system, already compromised by the injury, struggles to fend off this new onslaught. The buzzing swarm, once a symbol of nature's industriousness, now embodies its cruelty. Each bee, with its tiny body and relentless drive, contributes to the slow, agonizing decline of this magnificent creature. The leopard, once a master of its domain, is reduced to a mere shell, a canvas for nature's darker brushstrokes. But what drives this infestation? Bees are not inherently malevolent. They are simply following their instincts, driven by the primal need to survive and reproduce. In their quest for sustenance, they have unwittingly become agents of destruction. This raises a haunting question: what role do humans play in this cycle of life and death? Our encroachment on natural habitats, the destruction of ecosystems, and the pollution of the environment have all contributed to the fragility of wildlife. The leopard's plight is a reflection of our own impact on the world around us. As we push deeper into the wild, we disrupt the delicate balance of nature, often with catastrophic consequences. In this dark narrative, we find a twisted irony, though. The very bees that are causing the leopard's suffering are also vital to the health of our ecosystems. They pollinate plants, support biodiversity, and contribute to the food chain. Yet, in this instance, they have become a symbol of nature's ruthless efficiency, a reminder that life is often a brutal struggle for survival. The leopard, once a symbol of strength, now embodies vulnerability, caught in a web of circumstances that are both tragic and grotesque. As we reflect on this harrowing tale, we must confront the uncomfortable truth that nature is not always beautiful. It is a realm of chaos, where the line between life and death is often blurred. The leopard's suffering serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all living beings. In our quest for progress, we must not forget the delicate balance that sustains life on this planet. Perhaps, in the end, we are all just trying to avoid the bees of our own making, buzzing around us in the form of our choices and actions. And as we leave this dark narrative behind, let us take a moment to appreciate the absurdity of it all. After all, who would have thought that a leopard, the king of the jungle, would find itself outmatched by a swarm of tiny, buzzing insects? It seems that, in the grand scheme of nature, even the fiercest predators can have a bad day. So, the next time you find yourself swatting away a pesky bee, remember the leopard and its unfortunate encounter. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes the smallest creatures can bring down the mightiest of beasts. In the quiet stillness of a sun-drenched meadow, a striking white horse stands, its coat gleaming like freshly fallen snow. But upon closer inspection, a horrific sight emerges: a gaping wound, a grotesque hive of bees embedded in its flesh. A scene that could make even the most hardened observer recoil in horror. This is not merely a wound. It is a testament to nature's darker side, a chilling reminder of the intricate and often brutal relationships that exist within the animal kingdom. The bees, once symbols of industriousness and harmony, have turned into a nightmarish infestation, burrowing into the horse's skin, creating a grotesque tableau of life and death intertwined. As we delve deeper into this unsettling phenomenon, we must understand the biology of these creatures. Honeybees, known for their vital role in pollination, can also exhibit aggressive behavior when their hives are threatened. In this case, the horse, perhaps unknowingly, has disturbed a nest, provoking a swarm that sees it as an intruder. The bees, driven by instinct, have taken refuge in the soft tissue of the horse, creating a hive that is both a sanctuary and a prison. The horse, in its confusion,